There is a match that could completely change Group K of the 2026 World Cup. Portugal has much more at stake than just those 3 points. After the unexpected draw against the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Roberto Martinez's team no longer has any room to relax. Any slip-up today could seriously complicate the path to the round of 16, and that makes this Portugal vs Uzbekistan match one of the most important games of the day. So stay until the end, because in addition to telling you where to watch the match from any country, we're going to go over the full schedules for Latin America, Spain, Portugal, the United States, and all the confirmed channels so you can see where and how to follow this great match. Because yes, even though on paper Portugal is clearly the favorite, this match could be much trickier than it seems. Portugal comes into this second match day with 1 point, after a surprising 1-1 draw against the Democratic Republic of the Congo in a match that raised a lot of doubts. The team dominated during several phases of the match, had more possession, and created chances. But once again, they showed that they still struggle to turn that superiority into victories when the opponent sits back. Roberto Martinez was very clear after the match. He admitted that the team needed to improve their effectiveness in the final third, but he also offered reassurance. The coach assured that Portugal still controls its own destiny and that this squad has enough quality to finish as group leader if they do their job in the 2 remaining matches. And that's precisely why this match is so important. A victory would leave Portugal very close to the round of 16 and would allow them to approach the big clash of the last match day against Colombia, which on paper seems to be the strongest rival in the group, with much more peace of mind. But a draw or even a defeat would completely change the outlook. And here Cristiano Ronaldo also comes into play. The Portuguese captain is once again the main focus of attention despite his experience and being one of the most important footballers in the history of the sport. He continues to go into every match with the pressure of leading a generation that dreams of winning Portugal's first World Cup. But let's get to the important part. What time is the Portugal vs Uzbekistan match? In which countries around the world? I'll tell you right now. We already know that the same thing happens at every World Cup. Thousands of fans arrive late to the match simply because they get confused with the schedules. Today, with a match in the United States, there are quite a few time differences between Europe and Latin America. So grab a pen and paper, save this video, or share it with whoever is going to watch the match with you, because we're going to go over practically all the Spanish and Portuguese-speaking countries, starting with Europe. In Spain, the Portugal-Uzbekistan match starts at 7 in the evening, exactly the same time it will kick off in Andorra. In Portugal, it's 1 hour earlier, so the ball will start rolling at 6 in the evening. Crossing the Atlantic, we need to know that in Argentina, the match will start at 2 in the afternoon, the same as in Uruguay, and also the same in Paraguay. In the south of Brazil, it will also be at 2 in Chile, it will be at 1 in the afternoon in Bolivia, also at 1 the same as in Venezuela. And if we go to the north of South America, in Colombia, the match will start at 12 noon, the same in Peru, and the same in Ecuador. And pay attention to Mexico and Central America. In Mexico, the Portugal-Uzbekistan match will be played at 11 in the morning, a perfect time to follow it from practically anywhere in the country. In Guatemala, it will also be at 11, the same as in Honduras, the same as in El Salvador, the same as in Nicaragua, and the same as in Costa Rica. And in Panama, the start will be at 12, coinciding with Colombia and Peru. If we go to the Caribbean, in the Dominican Republic, the match will start at 1 in the afternoon, the same as in Puerto Rico, which will also be at 1. And for those of you following us from the United States, there are also differences depending on the region of the country. Because on the East Coast in cities like New York, Miami, or Washington, you can watch it from 1 o'clock. In the Central Time Zone, including Houston, Dallas, or Chicago, it will start at 12 in the Mountain Time Zone, like Denver, for example. It will begin at 11 in the morning. And on the West Coast, with cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Las Vegas, the match kicks off at 10 in the morning, so now you know. Spain at 7, Portugal at 6, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, and most of Brazil at 2, Chile, Bolivia, and Venezuela, at 1, Colombia, Peru, Ecuador, and Panama, at 12, and Mexico, and most of Central America will be at 11. If you're in the United States, you can check your time zone, because it changes quite a bit depending on which coast you live on. But there's another question that a lot of people have been asking in the last few hours. On which TV channel can you watch the Portugal vs Uzbekistan match in each country? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. By the way, hit the like button if this video is helping you find out what time to watch this amazing match. And just like with the schedules, be careful with the TV channels too, because depending on what country you're in right now or where you'll be watching the match from, the broadcast changes completely. So let's go over them practically one by one so you don't miss anything at all. Let's start with Spain. Here, the match can be followed through DAZN, which offers the entire World Cup, while a selection of matches is also broadcast live and free to air on RTVE. This Portugal versus Uzbekistan match is part of DAZN's programming for this match day. If you're watching from Portugal, the match can be watched on TVI and also on Sport TV, two of the broadcasters with World Cup rights in Portugal. Crossing the Atlantic, if you are in Mexico, you can follow the match on Tudem as well as on the VIX platform, which is also offering a large part of the World Cup. In the United States, there will be two broadcasts. The English broadcast will be handled by Fox, while the Spanish broadcast can be seen on Telemundo as well as on Peacock for those who prefer to follow the match via streaming. In Argentina, the match will be available through TC Sport and D Sports. In Uruguay, it's available on D Sports. In Chile, watch on Chilevisión and D Sports. In Colombia, where surely many fans will be keeping an eye on the result, already thinking about the last match day of the group, the broadcast will be available through the Sports and its digital platform. In Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia, Paraguay, and Venezuela, the match will also be available through the Sports and the Go, which are offering very extensive coverage of the World Cup. In Costa Rica, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, and much of Central America, the broadcast will depend on the local operator with World Cup rights in addition to the international platforms that also offer the tournament. And if you're following us from the Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico, you'll also be able to find the match through the international operators that broadcast the World Cup. Wherever you're watching from, you'll find ways to follow this great match across nearly all of Latin America. But wait, because now comes a part that I find even more interesting. One thing is knowing where to watch it, and another thing entirely is understanding how Portugal might play this afternoon. Will there be changes after the draw with the Democratic Republic of the Congo? Will Cristiano Ronaldo remain the focal point in attack? Will Rafael Leao start? Could he be the player who makes the difference against Uzbekistan? Because Roberto Martinez could introduce several important changes in the starting 11. No matter what, from any country and at any time, Barca Hoy will bring you the broadcast completely free with the best commentary of the entire World Cup. So, hit the like button, subscribe, save this video, and send it to your friends so they know that we'll also be live for this great match. See you in a little while.